TomMayers, and this is August 26th, 2008, and I'm here to videotape George Luzier, and George has been a friend of mine for a long time, and he's one of the luminaries here in Sarasota, Florida, on the west coast of Florida, and he's a boat builder, boat captain, you know, good at navigation. He was in the Merchant Marines, and he's just one of the you know, treasures of knowledge here about boat building and sailing on the west coast of Florida. So I've done videos of Clark Mills, who was a friend of mine and great wood boat builder also, and Jimmy Alderman. We did a video discussing Asa Pillsbury, and then I've done one with Harold Balcom. So this is a series where I'm trying to make videos that will be of interest to people who are interested in boat building, sailing, and maritime history on the west coast of Florida. So this is George Luzier's shop, and this is a video of George Luzier.
I'm George Luzier, and this is my shop, and been here a long time, and an old friend of Tom's, and he keeps insisting that he wants to do his videotape on me, and he says it won't break his camera, so I guess we'll have to do it. And we'll show you around here, and you can see there's a lot of junk basically, but it's the way it is.
Okay.
My mother wrote for many years for Motorboating magazine. This is in October '44, one of the articles that she's written. And this is someone. And this was my, I don't remember building this boat, but I did. This was actually, this was my first boat. My Uncle Bob helped me build. And this was my second boat that I built when I was about 13 or 14, somewhere along in there. And I built it in the old garage, and this was my next big boat. This was my 18-footer, and I built it under the pine tree because the garage was too small. And this is a small boat, a 10-foot boat I built for my brother Charlie, called a, I forget how it was called. I was in the Merchant Marine Academy, and this is written up about me in that. This was building my my first boat, the first G-Loo.
Did you design that? Or?
No, it was designed by Popular Science, I think it was. Well, let's see. I was actually younger than that when I built it. Yeah, Popular Science Monthly. I wanted a bigger boat. And back in those days, you didn't have any money. If you wanted a bigger boat, you built the bigger boat. There was one of these boats in town by the first local, I guess, first yacht broker we ever had around here, but they wanted $100. Well, $100 was big bucks in those days, so I built the boat. We made the sail and sewed it on the old pump singer and sailed it for years. Well, actually, I probably sailed it to death. And then I built the 18-footer, the Dixie.
So how did your mother get to write for, what was it, Rudder Magazine?
No,
Motorboating. Was she, did she have a background as an author, or?
No, she just liked to write.
Was
and she
interested in sailing.
She was good at it, and she took up sailing when we took up sailing. And she sailed with us, and she wrote about us, and just one of the things she liked doing. She was a personal friend of Charles Chapman that originally had the magazine, was the publisher of the magazine, and they corresponded back and forth, and she just liked doing it.
Well, it's nice that you have all that.
Yeah, we've just compiled this up, gotten them, because we had it and it was laying around loose, and I've got some more I'm working on. But and she covered, this is about one of the second G-Lou, which was a 14-foot.
Now, G is what, George?
G-E-L-U is my first two initials.
Uh-huh.
And this is written about it. She's got my daughter and
so
and
what daughter
nephew.
is that?
That's Maisie.
Maisie.
And this is Randy.
Mm-hmm. You have what? You have two daughters?
Yeah.
And no son?
No son.
So Randy is your brother Charlie's son?
Randy is Charlie's oldest son.
Right. Okay.
And then she covered some of the Lipton yacht races back since 1948. And back in those days, Lipton, the Southern Ocean Racing, the Gulf Yachting Association was the big race, the Lipton race. I mean, it was it. And they played the fish class. And this one, I think she went up to Pensacola and covered. And
and they're still sailing fish class.
They still are around Mobile in that area. They're all gone around here, and so that was. So she was always into boating, just like we were. We boated, she boated.
Okay, now we have an album that George has of some old pictures, and he's going to discuss them with us.
Well, after. I was in the Merchant Marine from 1942 through 1950, and I got cured of that. The last trip I was gone almost a year, and I was chief mate on T2 tankers, shuttling basically between the Persian Gulf and the Med and whatever, and I'd gotten married. Anyway, I came home, and what really got me started, I built this little pixie pram, and I built a mess of those, and then I had myself a little shop out at the airport. We all started in the old Sarasota Braden Airport, World War II airport. You rent a 20 by 100 foot barracks for $35 a month. And then I graduated to the larger, what had been the rec hall. And this was, well actually this boat was built, this was the first of the G-Lus. It was built before, well, it was built before the war. And this was my 18-footer. And this was a 14.5 foot, actually it was an outboard. And I got it back. I built it for a friend and he couldn't pay for it. I got it back. I didn't have money to buy an outboard, so I bought a Crossley car and put the engine in there. And that's my oldest daughter when she was about two and a half. We used to go yachting in it. And there's a penguin I built. I built two penguins. This was the second one I built for her.
And that was what, an S&S design?
No, that's a Rhodes.
A Rhodes design. And they were pretty fast boats?
They were nice boats, and we had a big class of them here, between here and Palmetto. They had a big class, and it was a nice boat. And we raced them, and we took them to Miami, and it was a good class. And then it petered out like they all do. And this is in the first shop, the old barracks. This is my first inboard. It's a 20-foot inboard with a Chrysler in it.
Now, was that your design?
Oh, yeah. All the power boats I ever built have been designed. There's pictures of it running. There's a Chrysler. And then I built a 26-foot sloop for my cousin, Peter Cluess from Tampa the Third. And this is pictures of me building it, and there's it set up. And there's it with the engine in. I couldn't turn them over inside as you can see, the barracks building, so we had to take them outside and roll them over outside, which is done, and then I this is it set up out there with it. Pretty well done. Here's a picture out of some magazine of the boat.
Yeah, I had some friends in Sweden that were boat builders, and they said that they built this boat inside of a house, and then they had to tear the side of the house out to get the boat out.
Well, we kept making the door bigger in this building. It wasn't any problem.
Well, I guess in Sweden it's more important that you build inside. You know what I mean?
The article, I think Brad Day did this one.
Now that's you right there,
That's
smoking a pipe.
Yep, sucking on a pipe. And
Now that's one of your boats right there, Queequeg?
yeah, that's it. That was the one we're looking at. Queequeg was the name of it. It was a nice little. He lived on it for some years, and I've lost track of it. It went to Miami. He took it to Miami. This is all pictures of it. And then I built this little moth boat here for a friend of mine. Well, the Stonehouse girls got it. It was a Charles Hunt design, little stem moth. Damn pretty little, nice.
And he was famous for the V-bottom boat, right?
He was famous for the Melodies, wasn't it? Wasn't Melodies?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, Charlie was a smart guy. And this was, they used to have Rog. Well, this is the cat boat I built for Brad Day. That's Brad right there. And this is pictures of it being built in the old barrel.
Now, when you have the frames up and they're all set up like that, what do you call that? Is that called the bones of the boat, or
I don't know.
just call it framed up?
Yeah, she's framed up. She's ready for planking. This boat was planked with harborite, which is overlaid plywood. See, we had to take it outside, and there's the pictures of it being rolled over.
And it was shallow draft.
See, we had a highway patrol in here, so nobody could bother us, and everything was good. Her name was the Nimbus 2. And there's putting her in the water, and there she's in the water, and then I built a 28-foot sloop, the Red Cloud, for...
Now, what were they framed up with? What was that?
These were framed with mahogany and planked with, well, that one was plywood or harborite, and this one was planked with, I think, cedar, juniper. And there again, took it outside, rolled it over. Then we built a shed on the side of the building, put it under the shed, and there we got her loaded up, ready to go to water. And that was something out of a magazine. And I built this for Charles Clark, the first ark. She was 20 foot long and 8 foot wide.
Now, was that Arthur Clark's father?
Yeah. He was an old friend of mine. There he is right there.
And that was what, just for fishing?
Just general, you know everything, man.
Cast
stone
netting.
crabbing, scalloping, cast netting. It was great for stone crabbing and oysters, and you know, you name it.
So it was like a big pram almost.
And then I rebuilt some boats. I took this little boat here that was, and put a raised deck on it, purred it all up so you'd have a cabin. And this was a Amphibicon.
Now that's all resorcinol glue and what, cedar or juniper?
Yeah, I think this one was Alaskan cedar. You bought the kit for this because it came from Mount Desert, Maine. And now this is in the. This skips over. This is in the rec hall. You can see it's got higher ceilings. But this is back here. I built a couple of these. This is Stubbins. You can see it was short, but it ran real well. And you know, then this was, I built 3 of these. 2 of them with a different layout, but